It's a well-known fact with putting that downhill putts are way more difficult for the average golfer and are three-putted way more often. So in today's lesson, I'm going to take you through my thinking process when I've got a slick downhill putt. What do I go through? What do I think to make sure that I'm not going to crank this ball way by the hole? How am I going to leave it short enough that if I don't make it, I got a nice tap in? So here I am on the practice green, and I've placed my ball at the top of this fairly severe downhill slope. Now also, to make things difficult, because you encounter this quite often on the golf course, the pin is also still on a downhill slope, so it's not like it levels out. So I've got to figure out, once my ball picks up speed going over this initial slope, how is it going to slow up when it's still going downhill? So again, with every putt you make, first thing you're going to do is walk around the hole, and the most important thing here is to feel the amount of the slope on your feet as you walk, and to take a peek at it from this side. From down here, I can see how strong that slope is. It's pretty severe there. So as I walk back up again, I'm getting a good look at it. All of these things here, I couldn't see when I was standing up here on top. You know, yeah, it looked downhill, but I really couldn't see how much. So now, what I know here is that a lot of putts, if you're on a super fast green, I mean, you barely want to breathe on that putt just to get it going. So the main thing I have to do is monitor the length of my practice stroke. So I see a lot of people prepping for a putt like this, and they're making a big stroke when really what they plan on doing is coming up here and making a tiny little tap at it. So you need to make sure that your rehearsal is realistic. So I'm going to make a few little tiny strokes here, sticking a couple inches back, a couple inches through. I basically just want to get the ball going, and then I want to let it just ride the slope. I also want to make sure I miss it on the high side. If you miss them on the low side, they're going to pick up speed. So another important point there. So here I am. I've walked around it. I know what it's going to do. I'm prepped to make a tiny little stroke, and I'm just going to monitor the length of my backstroke here. Just barely tapped it, got it going, and I just let it ride the slope the whole way. And that actually turned out pretty good for a putt like this. It's simple and it works. And remember, if you have a question, please submit it in the Ask Maria section on mygolfinstructor.com.